tell the people your name and you know, the title in this game.
Right. So I am Jacqueline Constance. I am a looper, songwriter, producer, all around, just like working with sound person. Like I love what I do, and I love being able to do in a city like Philly. Like it's been crazy, this ride I've been on, but that's what I do. You know, not too much, not too little, right in between, you know? So yeah, that's what I do.
Talk about your journey, I guess. What brought you to this space, to music and so forth?
So I've always like had a connection with music. Like in my household, like, you know, I grew up in a household that always had something playing, whether that was like Janet Jackson, whether that was Shaka Khan and Rufus, whether that was Tina Marie, there was always something going on. And then my dad is like very like musical, like he played like 10, 15 different instruments and stuff like that. So I always had just music around me. But I didn't even know I wanted to get into music in general until like the 9th grade. So I tell the story all the time, and my mom still tells it at all the functions. She signed me up when I was 9 for a talent show, but like told me after she like signed me up. She's like, yeah, I signed you up for this thing at school, and you gonna sing? And I'm like, no. What? No. Like I knew I could hit a little like do and all, but I'm like, come on, Mom. Like I'm trying to go out, I'm trying to watch Power Rangers. I ain't trying to do all that, but I ended up doing it. Loved it. Been doing it ever since.
What got you into the beat making side? I
was living with somebody, with a roommate, and she was like, yo, come and watch this thing. It was like a YouTube video. It ended up being Kimbra at like, I think 2013 South by Southwest. And like she's outside, and like it's like people with red cups around, everybody drunk as hell. But she's like going, and she has like an iPad and a looper, and I'm like, whew, what is that? So researched it, boom. We ended up buying it that night. I literally stayed up for 48 hours because I was just so enthralled with this thing, with this loop pedal. I'm like, what is this? Like I can make my own stuff? Because I've always like created music, but this level of creation was like totally new. So I'm like, all right. Ended up using it for a show. People were like, what's happening? So that, and then it just progressed from there. So I think production was just the next level from that, from looping and creating on stage already. Now we creating in studios now. So I think that's kind of the progression of it.
From the standpoint of being a producer and a songwriter and a performer now, because now you know, the whole kit.
Yeah, like it's definitely interesting because a lot of like spaces I've been in, especially as a performer, like everyone has like a band, everyone has like these large components. And don't be wrong, I like doing that too. But I come in like very unassuming with like a duffel bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I guess like that's almost as like unassuming as like a DJ coming in with just crates, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you're not too sure what's about to happen, but you know you're about to get something crazy. So it's definitely, the dynamic is different, but I'm lucky enough that people appreciate it and people really are in tune with it, and I've been able to touch a lot of people in that way. So like, yeah, it's different, but it's a good different.
All right, the reaction you got first time you went up on stage with just your machine, your voice.
I was a part of this like not competition, but it was kind of like a show with teams that went against each other. It was called the Coalition. And it was like Chill Moody had a team, and Sneaker Villa, when they were still Sneaker Villa, had a team. It was dope, right? So part of like our team sort of performance was me doing this looping. And this is like the first big show. This was at the Blockley, R.I.P. the Blockley. And I was performing with it, and the whole crowd just went dead silent. I had never experienced anything like that. Like usually, because it's a place with a bar, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things happening, right? But the whole place just went like still. And I'm like, it caught me off guard. I think I might have like slipped up a little bit in the loop because it caught me like, but it was electric. And I'm like, whew, I can't give it up now. Cause it was just like that level of like control over a crowd was really like what caught me. And it like I was stuck for a second. I was like, yo, this is not happening like this. Like, why is something wrong? Like, why is everyone so silent? But everyone was just glued into me. And it was the craziest thing I've ever experienced when it came to this looping stuff. So, whew, but that gave me like the sign, like, okay, this is a thing. You need to stick with this. So yeah, man, yeah.
The music you brought us today.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
First song, what was the name of the first song again?
The first song was called Suellen. So, long story short, a couple years ago I put out like a mixtape sort of thing with my homie Wes Manchild, amazing producer. And we was like, look here, let's do a quick little like mixtape EP sort of situation. And Suellen is one of the songs on that project. And it was, first of all, it's my only project right now. That's gonna change sooner than later. But it was one of those songs that like just felt good. You know, you ever just like hear a song or write a song and it feels good. It's like, ooh. So like I keep it like in the tuck. Like that's one of my go-tos. No matter how old I get, no matter what happens, Suellen would always be a part of like my set because it just feels so good. It feels so natural. Plus I throw a little extra stuff at the end. You know, a little spice, a little garlic salt, a little Lowry's,
Right there.
I try. I'll do it again. But yeah, man, like that's Suellen. So, and that's on the interwebs somewhere. If people want to find it, it's on a project called the Jacqueline Show. So check it out.
And then you hit the Carl Thomas joint. And the vibe in the room, like everybody in the room right now is just on some extra focused and chilled on out. The room got quiet, nobody was talking. And we was just all in there grooving, right? And at one point, it sounds corny, right? At one point I gotta chill. I forget what you said, but at one point, like I was like, oh shit, man, on my arm and shit.
No, good. That means I'm doing my job right. Look here. When people are feeling something, like that is.
The song was so just in the right song, right space, right time, right?
Yeah. I called it Carl Thomas because it has a bit of Emotional by Carl Thomas. And to be completely honest, that song in general, that Carl Thomas song, is like one of the dopest things.
You know about that Carl Thomas.
Boom, bam. Like that song like resonated so like hard with me. You know what I'm saying? Like it was one of those songs that, it was like, whoa, like this is crazy. So I threw that in there, but I was at a place when I wrote it that like I was just reflecting on just a lot of like love and heartbreak and you know what I'm saying, like I've experienced over the years. And it's always been this continual like someone saying that they'll be this for you. And then it ends up being the total opposite at the end. So, anything that happens in my life, for me, is free reign. I'm gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? No matter what. Look here, if you don't want me to write a song about you, just don't meet me. Just stay out my way. Like you see me coming, just move out of Dodge, okay? If you don't want a song written about you, because good, bad, or indifferent, I'm gonna write about it. So yeah, I was just writing, and it was just, my homie Sound Junkie produced it. He sent me the track, and literally, it was like, it was part of like a stack of like 10. And that was the first one, and I heard it. I'm like, I think Jill Scott calls it water, when like a track speaks to you so much that you get to just dive in it and just swim through it. And I'm like, oh yeah. So I literally wrote that in like 15 minutes, like boom, boom, And then I just did a quick like reference, sent it to him. He was like, that's the one, that's it, there it is. So yeah, man, I hope people like it. I hope people like really appreciate it. Like it's out on all the streamings, Spotify and Apple Music, all that good stuff. But yeah, I hope people really enjoy it and like internalize it. That's my hope with all my music, but especially that one.
That was a dope joint.
Thank you.
And lastly, just talk a little bit about just being involved in this thing that Tiny Room Outfits is doing right now with the studio, with the interviews, just this whole thing that's happening today.
So this has been, it's not too many spaces that I get to go into and be truly authentic and free. And without being like pompous or without, you know what I'm saying, like being too like grandiose about it. Tiny Room always gives that for me. So like, I remember the first show I had with Tiny Room, first event, and literally my equipment just like died. Like while I'm setting up, stuff wouldn't turn on, like pedal not working, boom. When I say like, Tiny Room was so like gracious, like, know what, come back next time and we'll do it again. And they gave me that space to come back and do it. And I've been around ever since. You can't get rid of me, Tiny Room, okay? I'm here to stay. But no, like to be able to be here and, you know what I'm saying, and to work with all these notable people. And it's like my 16-year-old self is like screaming, right? Like she's like, what? That's what you're doing? So I'm blessed, man. That's the only word I really have for it. Like with this and where I'm at in this music thing, like I'm blessed as hell.
That's it.
Bounce.
Baby, you could lie when you told me